Your history teacher lied to you. The French Revolution, the American Revolution, the Russian Revolution. You know these stories, right? But what about the revolution that nearly toppled the Roman Empire, led by a woman, or the slave uprising that created the richest nation in the Caribbean? These aren't fairy tales. These are real revolutions that changed everything. And someone decided you shouldn't know about them. Today, we're exposing 5 revolutions that were too dangerous to teach in school. Here's the thing about history. It's written by the winners, and sometimes the winners have a problem. The losers almost won, or worse, they actually did win for a while. These are the forgotten revolutions. Uprisings so successful, so terrifying to the powerful, that they got erased from your textbooks. Some lasted decades, others changed entire continents. All of them proved that ordinary people could bring down empires. That's a dangerous lesson to teach. So they buried these stories. But not today. Southern Iraq, 869 AD. 1 million African slaves are dying in salt marshes. They're draining swamps for their Arab masters. 12-hour days, no rest, barely any food. Then one man says, enough. His name is Ali ibn Muhammad. He promises freedom to every slave who follows him. Within months, 1 million enslaved Africans join his cause. For 14 years, they control southern Iraq. They defeat the mighty Abbasid army again and again. They build their own cities, mint their own coins, create their own laws. This rebellion nearly brought down one of history's greatest empires. It changed slavery in the Islamic world forever. So why don't you know about it? Because it doesn't fit the story that enslaved people were helpless victims. Britain, 60 AD. Roman soldiers rape the daughters of Queen Boudica. They steal her land. They think she'll stay quiet. Big mistake. Boudica unites every British tribe from Scotland to Wales, something that had never happened before. With 120,000 warriors, she burns London to the ground. She destroys 3 Roman cities completely. 70,000 Romans die in just 2 months. Emperor Nero considers abandoning Britain entirely. The greatest empire in history almost gives up because of one furious mother. But Rome won in the end, and they made sure Boudica's story disappeared for 1,500 years. Why? A barbarian woman nearly destroyed Rome. That's not the kind of story empires like to tell. Germany, 1524. Peasants are starving while nobles feast in castles. Sound familiar? 300,000 German peasants decide they've had enough. They write the first Bill of Rights in European history. Fair wages, end to serfdom, the right to choose their own priests. For 1 year they control more territory than any revolution before the French Revolution. Then the nobles strike back. They slaughter over 100,000 peasants in brutal massacres. Here's the crazy part. The peasants' demands in 1524 were almost identical to what sparked the French Revolution in 1789. This was the real birth of revolutionary thinking. Not Paris, Germany. But peasants don't get to write history books, so this revolution got forgotten. China, 1850. A failed schoolteacher believes he's the brother of Jesus Christ. Sounds insane, right? But 20 million Chinese people follow Hong Xiuquan. They create their own Christian kingdom inside China. They ban slavery. They give women equal rights. They redistribute land to the poor. For 14 years they control territory bigger than France and Germany combined. When it's over, 20 million people are dead. More than World War I. This was the deadliest civil war in human history. It nearly toppled the Chinese Empire. So why don't we know about it? Because it challenges everything we think about 19th century China. And because both Chinese and Western historians found it too uncomfortable to teach. Haiti, 1791, the richest colony in the world. Built on sugar plantations, built on slavery, built on suffering. 500,000 enslaved Africans decide to change that. Their leader is Toussaint Louverture, a former slave who becomes a military genius. He defeats Napoleon's armies, he outsmarts the British Navy, he creates the first black republic in history. While America still had slavery, Haiti became the world's first nation founded by former slaves. This terrified every colonial power on earth. So they made a pact of silence. For 200 years, Haiti's revolution was barely mentioned in Western schools. Because it proved that enslaved people could defeat the world's most powerful armies. That's too dangerous a story to tell. 5 revolutions, 5 continents, 2,000 years of history, all erased, all forgotten, all buried. Here's what connects them. They all proved that ordinary people, slaves, peasants, women, outcasts, could challenge the most powerful forces on earth and win. That's why they were forgotten. Not because they failed, because they succeeded. Every one of these uprisings planted seeds, ideas that grew into the revolutions you do know about. So here's my question. If history forgot 5 world-changing revolutions, what else has it forgotten? What other stories of regular people doing impossible things have been buried? Drop a comment. Tell me which forgotten revolution shocked you most. And if you want more hidden history they don't teach in school, hit subscribe. Because the most important stories are the ones they tried to erase. History isn't what happened, it's what someone chose to remember. Today, you chose to remember the forgotten.